When Jazzy first came to the gym, I was excited she came, but then I saw her do gymnastics and I started to panic a little bit. She called and said she wanted to train, try to be elite. Like, okay, we'll see. I remember the first day she came, she did a back handspring on beam and she slipped and slid down the beam. Her legs were tucked like crazy and I was just thinking oh, I hope I didn't make a mistake, I said, well, let me see her layout on vault, and she didn't have a layout on vault. We do the elite conditioning pretty much every day. She wasn't able to do a press handstand. So I was a little bit nervous at first, but she just kept working in the gym and she was trying so hard. So I was like, you know what, I'll give her a chance, we'll see what happens, and I'll put her out there. I was going to camps with Ari. Lori was injured at the time. And I was just, being at camp every month, I was watching the other juniors and kind of seeing what was going on. And I started realizing, Jazzy really can keep up. So when I started seeing what the other kids were doing, everybody was trying to qualify for Jeslo and everything, I really just knew Jazzy could fit in. I think she could kind of keep up and hold her own. She totally deserves it. I'm so happy the way the year went down, and so happy for her to be getting a little bit of attention.
This is my house, this is my dining room, and this is where we eat sometimes, but we normally go out to eat because my mom doesn't really cook. But yeah, this is it. This is my dog, she's Roxy. Old. This is upstairs, and up to my room. This is where I keep all my medals. This one is probably my favorite medal, because it's the first all around. This is where I keep all my camp Leos and competition Leos. This one is my favorite. This is the one that I wore at PNG's, me and Ari. I love it. I probably wear the ugliest Leos ever, but I just like the comfy, smooth, just yeah, plain ones. This picture up here, it's of me on first place winning the PNGs, and it's just a great moment. So every time I look at it, I remember the moment. It just gets me excited. Yeah, that's it. I started gymnastics when I was about 4 years old. I fell in love with the sport when I was that age, and I just love to flip and be in gymnastics every day.
And up. 1, 2.
I realized I wanted to do elite when I was not too long ago, maybe 2 years ago. I knew I started getting better and better, and I just looked up to all the girls, and I wanted to be like them.
Okay, so looking at your hands.
My first impressions of Maggie, she was very funny, but she was also very strict. I started training with her about 1.5 years ago. I looked up to Lori always, and I wanted to be like her. And Ari, she was we used to train together when we were little. Then she moved with her, so then I followed along later. I just knew that she could get me to what I wanted to do. I just knew I had to be there. I learned a ton of new skills, can't even explain how many. And plus I'm a lot cleaner. She focused on the little details and everything, so.
When Jazzy, the first season she was with me, she wanted to test elite, and I told her that she had to have all of the requirements. She had to have, everything that you were expected to have in elite, because when she came, she didn't have that.
All the upgrades were crazy. I started on vault, when I came there, I couldn't even do a layout. Bars has upgraded tremendously, all new release moves, floor, all new tumbling passes, and beam, a lot of details in beam.
She was kind of the third man on our team. Lori was the top dog, and she was going strong and getting all the attention, and then Ari had come in and really proven herself to be, a great vaulter and a little kid with a lot of potential. And Jazzy was just kind of along for the ride last year. She really, she made it to Classic. She qualified elite. Everything was great. She didn't qualify to championships. And I think just the fact that she had the title of an international elite, that was a great accomplishment for her.
I watched Ari and Lori at PNG's, and I didn't make it, so I went back and I trained a lot harder, and I just trained smarter, and I was like actually a full elite that year. So like I had more time to adjust to the elite system and stuff.
She saw Lori and Ari doing double layouts, and she was like, hey, like, I think I can do a double layout. All right, so let's try it. Now Jazzy competed double layout, and Lori does, you know, her starter hacked on bars, and Jazzy's looking at me, she's like, I think I can do that, like, I just get it. I'm like, okay, so let's try it, and she got it, you know, so as I kept pushing her to learn skills, and she kept kind of pushing me, saying like, I can do that, I want to do that. I think that's really where I started to see like, she can do stuff, you know, she is very, very coordinated. She doesn't take very long to learn things, and she's extremely smart. She just came in the gym every day and really just worked. Like she totally has never questioned, you know, what I want her to do. She just buys into the process and the assignments and the plan and the expectations. And I think because she was just so like, so focused in the gym every day. There was never drama. You know, she came in, she did what she was supposed to do. The one leg is weak, that's where your legs are going to go to on the shoot jump. You know what I'm saying? The leg that can't go back, that's going to stop the other legs. You have to work out. She worked so long, just as hard as the other girls, but there was nobody really paying attention to her at that time.
Now we're just eating lunch and then some school work until time to go.
I usually have a peanut butter and jelly, but I slept over at Luski's house, so I'm having mac and cheese today.
Did you get a lot of school work done now?
Sometimes.
Watching Jazzy in the gym every day, it's so great to know that like not only my best friend, but my teammate, this is where she's at. I'll do a skill and she'll be like, oh, do you have any tips for this skill? And I'll throw out a tip and she'll be like, wow, that worked. And I'll do a skill that she's great at and I'll be like, oh, can you help me with this? And then she'll give me one of her tips for the skill and it's like we're really helping each other out.
I first met Jazzy when we were 5 or 6 and like right then we were like best friends. Jazzy's personality outside the gym is really great because she's always funny and energetic and we always hang out all the time like after gym and stuff like that. So we always have a lot of fun.
We're just like the fierce trio.
They're both crazy but fun to be with and fun to hang out with. You hear
Best friends.
After the 2013 season and going in originally to 2014, I really can't tell you that I had any major expectations for her. It was really, really good for her last year to kind of be left out. You know, Lori went on and made national team, and Ari at 12 years old in 6th grade was the junior national vault champion, so a lot of attention was on her. And I think Jazzy was kind of like, hey, you know, what about me? Like, what about me? And I think it was really kind of like dangling a carrot in front of her face. Like, she kind of was saying, like, this is what I want. Like, that's what I came here to do, and I want to be a part of this too.
Heading into American Classic, I was just trying to hit everything and be clean.
She wasn't really ready, you know, it was still really early in the year. She had a couple mistakes, went out of bounds and stuff, but she won the meet, and I think that was, you know, a good confidence thing for her.
After I won that, I knew that I was up there and that I could do more than I think I could do.
It was kind of like she went in, she did her job at, American Classic. Okay, cool. You know, what's next?
Then I won first at the Buckeye Classic. It changed everything because I did win first, and there was a couple girls there that were from national team camp. So I knew I was one of the top ones there.
I think that's when she started realizing that she was legit and she could kind of keep up.
For secret, I was just basically trying to hit every event still and try to place on the podium for all around. Coming off of 2 wins, I wasn't really actually thinking about winning that meet. I was just trying to make it to the podium because last year I didn't even make it anywhere on the podium.
She had a decent meet. She made a tiny mistake on bars, but she was doing a new connection for the first time. She was connecting the starter hack immediately to the pack. And so out of the pack, she caught a little bit too much over the bar and just kind of improvised and did a clear up out of it and kept her routine going. Totally calm, nothing really phases her, it wasn't a big deal. And she had, I think, a decent beam and a good vault. I think she went out of bounds a little bit on floor, but she finished 5th. And I think, to me, that's when I realized, wait a second, with even a few mistakes, not being perfect at her absolute best, if you finish 5th at Classics, I kind of started realizing what, could happen at championships. I think as soon as Classics was over, she was ready to go. She could not wait to get to championship. She knew that she wasn't going to make any more mistakes.
I was just really excited and I wanted to get to P&Gs right away. I just basically wanted to make national team there. And I knew I could do it, so.
I would see her do something in the gym, and I really just knew, like, you know, if she could hit her routines, I knew she had a chance of winning the meet.
Without Bailey Key competing, I knew the door was open for anyone to win. I was just like excited to be there. I seen like all the crowd walk in, and I just got so much energy, and like it was just awesome to be there.
We had a really good rotation order. We had vault first, which I thought was a great first event. You know, you have a lot of energy, go out to a good vault. And Jazzy did that.
Then I went to bars. I did like an awesome bar routine, and then I did like out of my pack like a clear hip around the bar on accident, but I kept it going, so it was fine. And beam, I did a nice hit clean routine, so that was fine. And floor, I finished with a pretty strong floor routine.
After the first day, she was in first place, and it was good. I was happy, obviously.
Maggie told me just like stay calm, like it's not over yet. She wishes it was over now, but it wasn't, so I just had to stay calm and focus, and one more day of competition. Day 2 of P&Gs in the morning, I just woke up like feeling good and like my body felt good and everything. I was just really excited to be there.
She had bars first, and she did an even better bar routine on the second day. But I think that might have been when she realized, like, wait a second, I can do this.
And then we went to beam. I think I almost fell on beam, but I saved it. And it wasn't like my best beam routine. I was like kind of shaky because I was nervous to fall, but I made it, so it was all right.
You could see the nerves. That was the first time they kind of showed, but in the whole scheme of things, for her first year at championships, the fact that she stayed on the beam, you know, going into, you know, the second day of competition as a leader, and she stayed on the beam and didn't just totally crumble. She did a great job.
And then we went to floor. I had a really good floor routine.
She had a good floor routine, and when it came down to vault, I was like, oh God, please, just stay on your feet. Don't do anything silly.
And I was just like, oh my God, I could do this. I just knew I had to be on my feet. As soon as I landed my vault, it just felt like crazy. Everyone was cheering, and I just couldn't believe it. First thing I did after I landed, I just ran to Maggie and hugged her, and she just said, "You did it." And I ran back, hugged the area, hugged everyone. But everyone was like cheering and screaming, and like the music was playing, so I was so happy.
Any coach at this level, I would say we all want the same thing. You know, we all want our kid to be one of 5 kids that's selected, you know, on an Olympic year. I didn't think 2 years ago or a year and a half ago that Jazzy would be in that mix. I think now she could be in that mix for sure. All right, let's go. I'll start when everybody starts.
Oh my God, just make sure you start.
No butts in the air. I'll start it. Feet up, Erin. Jazzy really, you know, turned her gymnastics around and really made such huge improvements just because like we work really hard at our gym, you know, and it's not like we work hard one day and then not the next day. And she came in and she just did anything I asked her to do. You know, any skills I wanted her to learn, or no matter the number of routines I asked her to do, you know, she really came in and she did it and never complained. She had watched Ari and Lori kind of had some success before her, and she really wanted a part of it. Being 2 years out, being the junior national champion of the United States, like, that's a big deal. And I think she has gotten some attention now from that and kind of made people see, like, she's legit.
We have a national team camp coming up, and it's like my first time being a national team member going to a national team camp. So we're training hard for it, learning like lots of new skills. It just feels great. I'm like super excited. It's just been like a shock still. I just think of it like just try to like do the best that I can every time.